The way you talk to yourself after you mess up, the names you call yourself in your head, stupid, lazy, behind, embarrassing, those names, you would never say that to your best friend. So why is it acceptable to say that to yourself? Because if we're being very honest, right? If we're being very, very honest, some of you are not struggling because, you made a mistake or you did something that was off or incorrect. You are struggling because you refuse to forgive yourself for it. And that is slowly destroying your confidence. My name is Blossom, and I'm here to make sure that you never settle for a life that is less than the life that you deserve. Today, we're going to be talking about something that a lot of ambitious women and people in their 20s struggle with, but they don't admit, which is how to stop judging yourself, how to forgive yourself for your mistakes, how to stop carrying shame that is not yours to carry. And I'm not even just, talking to you in this episode. I'm talking to me too. I'm talking to myself too, because it really hits hard for me, and I'm sure it's going to hit hard for everybody in their 20s who are in their developmental stages of life and are just growing, because it is the stage where you make a lot of mistake. That leads us to chapter 1. A lot of us act like we are not human. Like when we make mistakes, we are worse than everybody else that is around us. Somebody else messes up around us and we say something like, oh, it's okay, babe, it happens. But when you mess up, you tell yourself stuff like, oh, you are actually the worst. Why did you do that thing? You're so despicable. You're so annoying. You're so irritating. Why? Why do you treat yourself like you are morally inferior for just being human? There are psychologists who have researched stuff on, self-compassion, and they have found that people who practice self-compassion are actually more motivated to improve after failure, not less motivated. Self-criticism does not make you better. It makes you anxious and avoidant. So this idea that beating yourself up will fix you is very stupid, because it's not even backed up by science. It just keeps you stuck where you are. So you beating up yourself, you making yourself feel bad, you telling yourself that, oh, you are this and you are that and you're this and you're that, is doing nothing for your story. It's not even moving you forward. Chapter 2. I was listening to a podcast recently and someone said something that stuck with me. The person said, people create a narrative and storyline about themselves in their head. And that actually made me pause, because it made me ask myself this question. And I'm challenging you to ask yourself that question too. What story are you telling yourself? Maybe you made one mistake and somebody called you lazy. And from then on, now everything that happens to you or that happens around you, you say stuff like, oh, I'm lazy, that's why this happened, I'm just a lazy person. And now you have built an identity around just one moment. Do you know what psychologists call this? They call this the confirmation bias. So you look for evidence that supports the negative belief that you already have about yourself. You mess up once, now you scan your life for proof that, oh, you are fundamentally flawed, and that is messed up in my opinion. And then you wonder why you feel stuck. It's not because that you are incapable or something. It's because you have sentenced yourself. You have sentenced yourself to a self-limiting belief that you have chosen to carry from one period in your life, from one moment in your life, and you have let that self-limiting belief define who you are. That leads us to chapter 3. Let us talk about something that I think is a bit uncomfortable. A lot of us women carry shame that we are not supposed to carry. Yes, we overthink decisions, we replay conversations, we feel embarrassed for things that a man would not even think twice about. Studies even show this. They show that women ruminate more than men on average, meaning that we replay our mistakes in our minds longer, and rumination is strongly linked to anxiety and depression. So this is never good for us. It's an actual study that has been done. So it's not that you are weak. It means that you were conditioned to overanalyze yourself. And then when you tell people about your mistakes, you tell them, oh, I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that. So immature people will laugh, they will judge you, they will gossip you. But understand this: people who mock you for growing are using you to feel superior. The moment you understand that, the better you're going to feel. Emotionally intelligent people, self-aware people, people who actually are focusing on their lives and are leveling up and are trying to become the best versions of themselves, they don't judge mistakes. They respect accountability. So when you go to them and you tell them you did this, they respect you because they know that it takes courage to admit fault. Chapter 4. Now let's be balanced. Forgiving yourself does not mean avoiding accountability. If you hurt someone, you need to apologize. If you messed up, admit it. If you made a bad decision, learn from it. But after that, you do not get to torture yourself forever. Acknowledging what you did and correcting it is maturity. Calling yourself stupid for 3 years is self-cruelty. And some of you confuse self-cruelty with growth. It is not growth. It is just you punishing yourself. And it is usually pointless, because no matter how much you punish yourself, it's never going to change what has already happened. It is never going to change it. So why do that to yourself? Why stop yourself from moving forward when you can just forgive yourself? Chapter 5. Sometimes I catch myself doing it too. Like I say things like, oh, I'm so stupid. Oh, I'm not the best. Oh, why would I do that? And I have to pause and say things to myself and remind myself that no, I am not stupid. I made a decision with the information and emotional capacity that I had at the time. And that is very different from me telling myself that I'm stupid, because you are allowed to evolve. You are allowed to outgrow the version of you who made that mistake. That doesn't make her evil. It doesn't make the version of you evil. It makes her early, because she's just learning. You too that understand that she made a mistake, you are also learning, and that is how you know that she made a mistake. That leads us to chapter 6: how to apply everything I've said into becoming the highest and the best versions of ourselves. Let's make this practical. Okay, a step-by-step thing. Step 1: separate behavior from identity. Instead of saying things like, oh, I am lazy, say things like, oh, I procrastinated today. Step 2: practice immediate accountability. Own it, fix it, and don't dramatize it. Step 3: interrupt self-insult. The second you call yourself stupid, correct it. Step 4: rewire and rewrite the narrative. Ask yourself, what is a more empowering but truthful story? Step 5: normalize humanity. You are not above mistakes, neither is anyone else. Step 6: release the shame. If you learn the lesson, the shame has done its job. Let it go. The highest version of you is not the one who never makes mistake or messes up. It is the one who forgives herself fast and keeps it moving, because you're always going to make mistake. Why spend every second beating yourself up because of that one mistake that you made? It's just not worth it. Stop judging yourself. You are human. You deserve the same grace that you give to everyone else, because you forgive all the people you love in your life for their mistakes. Why not forgive yourself? And I'm saying this with emotion because I need it too. You cannot become your highest self while hating on your current self. It is not possible. You need to forgive yourself. You need to take accountability, and you need to grow. That is all that matters. And stop carrying shame that was never meant to define you, define who you are, define what you are capable of, because you deserve better. And it starts with how you speak to yourself. That is all it starts from. The way you speak to yourself is going to affect the way you see yourself. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.